Hello again, this is Gosia Cosmic Agency. Let's continue with the part 1. This is going to be a big one and a lot of conversations, so stay tuned. This chapter is more to do with Swaruu's health, how she was dealing with that, and also her commitment to writing and to this work. As you can see, and also you could see that in the last video where elle-même came with Lila and they were helping, they were asking me to help them protect Swaruu. You could see there the amount of care and love they had for Swaruu. It was amazing to see. Actually, they all take care of each other there on the ship, but you could see with Swaruu how they were treasuring her. She was like this young, bright star, and you will continue to see this in these chats today, always wanting to protect her. And that includes us, because as you will see, and as you saw in the last conversation, we were always there to help, to protect, to assist, because her as a person was always a priority. Her health was priority. So anyway, I'm going to cut my talking. Let's go to the conversation. This is the conversation with Rashell. Rashell was there at the beginning. Let me just read very fast what she was in her own words. She says, I officially represent Taygeta here as a member of the High Council of Taygeta and also as a representative of Taygeta before the Federation. A sort of ambassador in human terms. Ambassador between the race and the civilization of Taygeta and the other races present here. Also ambassador between Taygeta and Earth. Anyway, Rashell hasn't been around for a very, very, very long time now. So this is not about her. I'm only bringing in this conversation because this was for the first time that we actually found out how severe, how bad Swaruu's health was. So enjoy. October 2018.
This is the situation. Although we don't think it was a premeditated attack, from some point of view it was. But we won't go into that because there is no data other than what both sides, you and us, can see. I will just focus on the medical facts for now. Swaruu suffered a stroke in one of her eyes, and then had quite severe heart failure. This is due to consistently high blood pressure. Her young age served to mask the problem, but it is misleading. I know she has focused on saying that we are like you because she wants to remove differences and separations. But the truth is that her physiology does not work like yours. Her emotions manifest in her body immediately. She was subjected to a constant bombardment of very low-frequency energy. That energy is mostly mental, which is what she experiences on a daily basis, and for many hours a day. The constant pressure and criticism kept her at a very low frequency that was not in tune with her own. It ended up making her sick. She is walking, but remains with the Andromedans in their medical facilities. They prevented a major heart attack. In the next few hours, she will be transferred to this ship where she will receive the appropriate medical care. We have a large medical staff on board.
Will you take her to Temur?
I cannot take Swaruu against her will. It is up to her. I can only support her.
I don't know what she wants at this point, but I hope that what she wants is more beneficial to her health. Her health is a priority. And the question, there are always more positive comments out there. Didn't they balance things out? A lot of people support Swaruu.
I haven't spoken in depth or alone with Swaruu yet, but what I can say is that it's not that a balance is created with the energies. Rather, Swaruu can't help but focus on the negative because she interprets it as her failure. Because in our society, that negative attitude simply doesn't exist.
Poor thing. We always tried to calm her down about this issue, but she didn't listen, no matter how hard I tried. Here we are already used to being criticized.
These are matrix attacks and trolls paid by someone. We also get a lot of attacks, but we ignore them.
What they explained to me is that every time she noticed an attack against her, she would get a, I don't have the word in Spanish, blood pressure spike, that overloaded her system more and more.
A rapid and sudden rise in blood pressure. It happens to us here too, but not to this extent, and here we don't manifest it so quickly.
There people are used to being criticized. Here that phenomenon does not occur. She takes it, even on a subconscious level, as a failure on her part. Santé, the chief medical officer of the Taleka ship where Swaruu was, could not detect anything wrong with her because Swaruu is very stubborn and denies any problems. It is difficult to treat her medically. But blood pressure and heart problems are repressed feelings and emotions. Swaruu obviously takes everything too far. She will come on board in the next few hours. She will be able to talk to you.
Oh, really? I had already assumed that we wouldn't be talking to her for a long time. I think she felt guilty about being so affected. She always said, I should know better. So she tried to repress how it was affecting her.
I think that was it, Gosha. She never mentioned to me that she was so affected.
It has hit her self-esteem hard, because she has an image of herself as very strong and defiant, when in reality she is just a little girl. She also told me that she has accumulated too many contacts, which means she can't get her message across because she spends all her time online with one person or another, responding to multiple issues.
Yes, she always complains about that too. We try to help her with that, but she is the one who always decides to talk to more people.
She fell into her own trap then. Her mind and spirit are very strong, but her small body cannot keep up with her. She cannot proceed like this. She does not rest and logically reached a breaking point.
Of course, it's obvious. We told her to rest all week while we were in England, and she didn't. She worked more and more.
Her eye was a stroke. It could have been her heart or her brain, but it was her eye. Even so, Swaruu continued working at the same pace for almost a month before collapsing. She is very stubborn.
Okay, Rashell, so what should we do?
I think that's up to Swaruu herself to decide. But I see no other option than to restructure the way we all work, especially with Swaruu, because she abuses herself. She can't be in contact with so many people, and she only blames herself for not achieving it, and puts even more pressure on herself.
Yes, Rashell, of course. If necessary, she should cut us off too. Our contact is not more important than that of others. Maybe we can help in other ways.
I know there are good people out there. There's no doubt about that. It's just that everything has been placed on one person, Swaruu, who, despite what she thinks of herself, cannot be in contact with so many people simultaneously without serious consequences to her health.
I always told her this, Rashell. She just doesn't listen, as you know. When we went to England, she had to rest. That was the plan. She told us she would. And it turns out she worked even more. She went live on Telegram with a lot of people at once to answer questions.
That live stream only made her health worse. I understand that you are the core of the work and contact. I don't think it's a good idea to cut ties with you. I can't comment about the others yet.
Stubborn and fierce girl.
Incredible. I understand her a little in this regard. I also feel like I'm wasting my time if I don't work on my videos, etc. But I try to take time to rest as well. It's important. And I told her this many times.
Rashell, we will do everything we can to ensure that everything returns to normal and that Swaruu recovers.
With that workload she imposes on herself, Swaruu could die, and it's not drama. It's the truth. That dynamic is killing her. I use that word because it's the truth. She could have a heart attack.
Well, let's stop our communication in the sense of work.
It's just a matter of restructuring things.
Okay. And what would be the idea of restructuring things, from your perspective?
She needs time for herself to heal.
Let her rest as long as she needs to.
I have to leave now for technical reasons. If you wish, I can reconnect in 2 hours.
Don't worry, Rashell. We really appreciate your time and explaining everything to us. If you want to, you can. We will be here.
I'll log in 2 hours. Hello again. Swaruu is still not on board. The doctors at Andromeda insist that she stay there a little longer, at least until tomorrow, because there is nature there, and here everything is artificial. What happened was serious. I know that their people don't associate the word heart attack with thin 17-year-old women. But here things work a little differently. It is said that the men of Tegeta are better prepared for that kind of pressure because of their competitive male spirit. And Swaruu has personal aggravating factors.
Is she going into the medical pod? From what I understand, she will come out as good as new, right?
The problem is emotional. The medical pod would restore her body, but if she continues with her way of life, it will happen to her all over again. She must change the way she does things. She has an aggravating factor. I have known her well since she started studying with me and hid behind a shy fringe that reached her eyes. Swaruu grew up alone, so she takes rejection very personally because what she wants is to please everyone. She needs to feel loved. But that expectation is not realistic. Nevertheless, she has it. Swaruu pleases others to feel loved, but she overlooks herself. She has confessed to me that she has held a conversation with 3 people on 3 accounts simultaneously, just to meet everyone's expectations. While there is nothing wrong with this in itself, one cannot live like this without suffering consequences.
What can we do, Rashell?
If she wants to come back, I would recommend that she does what she likes, and that has always been writing. That way she can write her articles to share with the people. Articles are what reach many people at once. You have to reach the masses, not chat with individuals. And we, as I said, also offer that she spend less time with us, or none at all.
Your suggestion is good.
She could also retire completely, rest.
Not reading the comments, ignoring what they say negatively about her.
And write from afar, in peace.
I can only suggest. Or she can talk to several people in a group like we are doing now. Not devote a 2-hour session to each person. Or it can be that way with the others, and with you two together, since you have a closer relationship with her, you can have another more direct dynamic.
Yes, although what I also suggest is that she withdraw completely for a while. Reconnect with nature, and write from there.
Yes, that's the best thing to do. Disconnect for as long as she needs to.
Swaruu must not watch YouTube, that is mandatory. The thing is, she is very stubborn. She wouldn't let Santé, the doctor, get close to her, so her condition worsened.
She should stop this. It's harmful to her health. She's only a 17-year-old girl.
On the other hand, I know that if she doesn't do anything, she will also feel bad. She wants to feel like she's helping. That's why my idea of just writing from home. That way she will feel fulfilled, sharing her knowledge, but not being here and not talking to anyone or looking at anything.
She'd better forget all this. She has planted a seed in us. Now it's up to us to carry on her message.
What else does she like to do in her private life? Because I see myself in her. If someone tells me to forget about doing my work and go to the beach, I won't do it. I feel like my mission is to help. So we have to find balance here.
She's like climbing mountains and going with Susie.
She has no private life. She doesn't even know how to handle mail advances. She lived in isolation. Her whole way of thinking is different from everyone else's.
The problem is that she wants to continue with all of this. How can we deny her to continue with this work?
You can all find her a task that makes her feel productive, but where she doesn't get stressed out.
The problem I see is how to get all of this out of her head.
It's a matter of frequencies. She can't live in 3D without getting sick, looking at 3D things.
I understand, Rashell, but how do we tell her?
I'm afraid of her because, as I said, she's very stubborn.
Rashell, if we cut off contact with her, she will feel bad and sad, but do you think it might be better?
I don't know.
Gosha, we'll have to cut off contact with her as much as it hurts us.
The idea of her writing and that being the only way to keep everything going sounds good. It's just that she already knows that many people don't like her because of her work, and she already feels sad that her articles haven't been useful. At least that's what she thinks.
That's what bothers me about all this, that she only focuses on the negatives. There are so many people who are grateful to her. But well, it's something you can't control, I guess.
That's because of her programming of wanting to be loved by everyone.
But she is loved by us and many more people. Many have said that she has changed their lives.
I don't understand her thinking. I mean, only seeing the negative. But the only thing I see here is that it affects her.
We will continue spreading her messages. We will not stop.
Exactly, Gosha. We will continue. We will study her messages. She has planted 2 little seeds in us.
Every drop contributes to the rise in frequency on Earth. She herself said that we only need to awaken the key number of people.
Swaruu can leave now. Her work has been a success. You have to tell Swaruu that we love her very much. Tell her not to worry about us and to just disconnect from everything.
Better yet, Rashell, please take her home. Let her return to Erra.
Yes, thank her for everything she has done for us. She will remain in our hearts. May she continue her life in the 5th density.
She has to realize that she did not fail, that it was a complete success, that the attacks only prove this. Svaru's soul and spirit are stronger than her body and are finishing her off. That's all. She must understand that there are more Tegatans, and that she has already fought her war. Swaruu must understand that she should not demand so much of herself, because a light that shines twice as bright will only last half as long. She must learn to manage her own energy, or she will not live to old age. How do you feel?
We are concerned about her, but we also feel very good, very strong. We are very encouraged. Swaruu gave us a lot of strength.
I am concerned, but I also have confidence in you, in your technology, and in your wisdom to handle this matter well.
The problem is that, in this case, it is not something that can be physically fixed, and that's it. Svaru's problem is energetic, and therefore a problem of the soul. If Swaruu is not in a position to enter with you, I will enter again to support you.
Thank you very much, Rashell. We appreciate everything you do.
You are family.
Oh, Rashell, don't worry. Thank you again.
Yes, I find that very strange too, because you are very familiar to me, and that strikes me as odd.
Fini les douleurs aux pieds à la fin de la journée. Les chaussures orthopédiques Comfort Titanium ont été conçues pour...
Thank you for being here until this point. We have a lot to go through. As you can see here, this was for the first time that we were told, because of course Swaruu wasn't there to tell us exactly how bad she was. She was always avoiding that subject. As you can see, she was also not telling Tegatans how she was feeling. But here, for the first time, Rashell told us, and well, we reacted right away. This was one of the first times, and this was not the only time, when we decided, okay, we cannot continue this. We are going to help with the situation, and we are going to tell her together as a group that it's better for her health, for her to focus on other things. And we really insisted with that. And in the next conversation that's going to be with Swaruu, you will see how much we wanted her to go away, but not to go away because it sounds so bad. I already know how she would be taking that if she was listening to this. Not go away because we didn't love her, but go away because we loved her. So we wanted just what's best for her. We didn't say much about Svaru's health to that degree at that point, because they didn't want this coming out. Of course, it's completely understandable. If I was sick, I probably wouldn't talk about the details of that. To tell the details, she was in a very dangerous spot, because she was in the view of many, and also in the view of many enemies. the same as us. So if I'm going to reveal the details of my sickness, it's kind of like giving away some sort of a weapon here with which they can attack her back, because, you know, there are all kinds of ways to, I don't know, astrally, even esoterically, I don't know, to make people, to use that vulnerability, even physical vulnerability, against the person. So it was agreed with them that it's not going to be talked about. Now, the problem with her sickness was that she had just too much on her shoulders. And it wasn't just it wasn't the work itself, writing and sharing the information, because that she loved. She loved that. It was all that was happening around it, all the negativity and trollings and attacks, and also the responsibilities that she had on the ship. She was always complaining how absolutely everyone wants a piece of Swaruu, and everybody wants her to solve all the problems. So it was just all too much at the same time. We were trying to help Swaruu for, you know, in the process of all this. She was always taking on the negative comments more than the positive ones. And, you know, we were trying to help her with that and always, you know, support her and psychologically assist her with this whole process. That's how we were with them, with all of them, throughout everything, always. And with Anneka as well, and with Yaski when she first arrived, especially. So, you know, we were trying to help her get through the most difficult parts of it, even though it was difficult for us too. That deserves a whole separate subject about the sacrifices, you know, about the reactions, about our management of negativity, of people's reactions to this contact, of trolls, attacks, and there's been always something happening. That deserves a whole separate subject about Robert and I. But let's go back to Swaruu here. So we were helping her with that, but she was always focusing more on the negative. And I can kind of understand, because to be honest, every time I'm reading comments, and maybe now I'm becoming vulnerable, I'm telling people too much, because now those who hate us are going to attack even more, but I really do not care. But I can agree with Swaruu that the negative comments always kind of affect you more. I don't know what it is. You can read 10 positive comments, for example, and they are all like, we love you, this is great information, this is so life-changing, I like this, I support you, Gosha, and it's kind of like washing over me, like I'm registering, okay, nice, but it's not getting in deep. And then when I see one negative, you suck, how dare you come, and then and you feel that blood pressure, maybe not now so much anymore, although it depends. Also, it depends on the mood, it depends on the day. But definitely the negative ones have that effect for some reason on the psychology of the person, on your emotional well-being. And it's something that you are accumulating over time, you know. So as you saw in this conversation, and I said this is one of the first conversations, but not the only one, where we were telling them that, you know, maybe it's better to stop, and we are totally offering to stop this because your health is priority. But they were always insisting that it's not the work itself. It's not the work itself, that this is something that was making them happy. Anneka, especially, I think even Anneka, I would say more than Swaruu, it was like her purpose of life to do this, especially because she was doing this during the COVID times, Anneka. Anyway, you know, in the end, no matter how much you care for the person and you want them to take a certain direction in life, in the end, you can't impose what you think is best for them. And that was something also seen in these interactions with the Taygetans about Swaruu, that they were worried, they wanted to help, but they knew they couldn't impose. At the end, she was always the one with the last decision, with the last voice. She was always the one knowing best what she wanted to do, and no one could impose anything. They don't operate like that in their society. They can offer, they can suggest, they can meet in a council, and they can try to come up with a solution. Offer, offer. The same way as they are offering the information to the humanity they want to impose, the same way among themselves, they can just offer the solutions, offer their help and love and support, but they cannot impose. And that's how it was with Swaruu. And as you can see, she was super stubborn. And hey, I can completely understand that myself. Maybe one day it will be understood why that connection with Swaruu's commitment and Swaruu's sense of duty, but I totally have it myself. And if I had someone around me, and by the way, my health is also suffering. Again, I don't want to make this here about me. This is going to be a separate subject. But, you know, this is also, we're going to pay the bills for this as well, health-wise, at some point. It's just that here it manifests slower and we are tougher, so to speak, also in this individual. But I can understand the sense of duty. Like I'm saying, if someone told me, Gosia, you need to go away because you are losing eyes, you need to put this away. I'm not going to do that. Like, I do not accept anybody telling me what to do. That's first. Well, except for, depends. If we are working in a team, like with the Tagetans, of course I will listen and, you know, this is not my work. This is our work. This is a different context. I'm just saying in general, if I'm, you know, devoted to something, this is something I want to do, I am pushing myself and I go to the limits and I sacrifice myself and I sit there and I would just do anything, you know. So I would also not accept someone telling me to go away and just, you know, I look at pebbles on the beach and relax. I can do that, but I will not put my work away. And that's what she was trying to do, Swaruu. She didn't try to put the work away, even though we totally offered. And she was just trying to accommodate it somehow, you know, restructured things. That was the whole idea. Now, here in the next conversation, you will see that Robert and I, this was right after the conversation with Rashell, we insisted again. I'm smirking because it's hard to insist on anything with Swaruu because she will do what she wants. Like I already explained, we insisted that she goes away. We believed that was the best way. And I really believe that my suggestion was really great, that she would write from her home. She wouldn't have to look at the internet where all the negativity was coming from. She wouldn't have to even talk to anybody, and she would just be able to focus on writing. I think seriously, that's what I would have done if I was her. I would just write, and then I would send those writings, and I would still feel productive. I would still feel that I'm helping the cause and passing the information. And, you know, we were here available to spread that information. It was a perfect solution in my eyes. But she refused. Anyway, in this conversation, you'll see that actually she's pretending to agree with us. And I'm saying pretending because right after that conversation, she said, no, I'm not leaving anywhere. As she said in this conversation, she was only agreeing with us to please us. So enjoy the conversation.
October 2018. Hey, how are you feeling, Swaruu? We are very concerned. I feel very sad, to be honest, and physically I feel very weak. We know. You need to rest.
Thank you for making the effort to be with us today.
Yesterday we talked a lot with Rashell, and she explained many things about your condition. Yes, she told me what you talked about. It's important that you rest now. You understand, right? Okay. I just don't see it as being that easy. Why not?
Well, you'll have to change your mindset.
Because we left many things unfinished, and as I see it, this is the worst time to stop doing this. What is true is that I can't function in the same way I have been working.
They'll have to settle for a partial success, Swaruu. You come first. There is only one Swaruu.
Unfinished? Why? You've already said a lot. More than any other ET on Earth. You've said it yourself. That's how it has to stay, as Robert said. I just see that more is needed at this time. Gosia, if I stop now, the negatives will destroy our work.
Swaruu, everything will stay as it is. Your work has been a success. Now it's time for you to rest.
I have many more videos to make, and then we will look closely at all the information from the beginning and all the messages and expand on all the points for people. You don't have to do anything else. If you continue, you put yourself in danger. I will not put myself in danger if I come in 2 or 3 times a week.
But the problem is that it won't be like that.
I can't imagine turning away and leaving all this half done, because I haven't finished. I feel like I haven't finished. And you won't look at YouTube and comment? Can you really promise that? I went on YouTube a moment ago.
Why did you come in, Swaruu? You can't do that. We'll lose you.
I went in because I haven't been on for a week and I'm curious. If I don't know the situation, I can't proceed correctly. So I went on YouTube. I am not weak. It's just another programmed reaction problem in me.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Robert. How about going to your planet to relax in nature? And from there, without the internet, just write. You like to write. You will be there in the mountains, at home, and you will send it to us from time to time, without looking at comments. That way, you will feel like you are finishing what you wanted to finish, but you will be in peace, not in this horrible orbit so close to 3D.
Exactly. Do as Gosha says, Swaruu.
My mind is strong, and I can handle more. But my body is conditioned differently and reacts badly and not in accordance with my mind. You've done so many things. Take a break for a while. And if you feel good, you can come back sometime. We are not closing the door on you.
You can come back, of course.
From there, it would be very difficult for me to connect. Maybe just send emails. But Rashell explained your condition very clearly to us, and you can't work anymore at this point. Go for a couple of months at least. It makes me very angry that I want to continue and my body doesn't respond. Your body knows best what it needs. Unfortunately, we are all limited in some way by our vehicles, and we have to respect them. And what will happen to the others? They will understand, Swaruu. They just want you to get better. You can't think that by leaving, you will disappoint them or us. That's not the case. We will all understand. I don't want to leave. I want to continue, with some modification perhaps.
You have to go back, or we'll never hear from you again because your body won't be able to handle this again.
I feel that if I leave now, I am just proving the negative ones right.
The reality is that no one can force you to do anything, Swaruu. It's just a suggestion.
It just really upsets me because I feel strong, but my body only reacts in a destructive way to what I want. It just deteriorates more and more. It's because even though you feel strong, you carry things inside you, in your subconscious, and it's time to heal that first. You are very young. You can come back anytime. We won't stop here. So they won't think they've won, because we will continue strong. What plans would you have?
For now, continue with what we have.
Continue making all the videos I have lined up. I have a lot.
Back to the beginning, until the end. A loop of videos each time with the message becoming more clear.
Then see previous talks and hold discussions about those talks with interesting details that we may never have shared. Grow my new channel in English. Also, if people want to open channels in other languages, I will pass on the transcripts to them. Spread the message. Rashell can help you, but I doubt very much that she can devote herself to this as I do, because she has a rather complicated and demanding job. Okay, let it flow. So, you are going to take a break? I prefer to do 4-hour live streams every day. You're joking, right? I am not sure if I said that as a joke or not. Well, you will have to find other people, Swaruu. We won't give you access. This happens too. I can't write for so long every day because I only use one eye. It's hard to read what I write and what people reply to me, and I can overload the only eye I have left. I'm 17 and I have high blood pressure problems like an old lady, which makes me very angry. But it's not because of old age. It's because I'm constantly in fight mode, with adrenaline all day long. Put yourself in a medical pod, maybe. In a couple of months, you will come out like new. Heal your emotions, and you will come back. The critics are going to be in for a big surprise when you return. Okay, Gosha, good point. But it's not nice to be in a med pod. Besides, in there, you are floating in a yellow liquid inside a transparent jar in zero gravity. I don't like being seen there because you don't wear clothes in there. Well, tough. It's not pleasant, but your body will be happy in the end. However, your emotional healing is even more important. I will try to heal my eye naturally, even though everyone has told me that only a pod would solve the problem. I had a stroke in my eye. They took me to their medical facilities in an emergency. I had fibrillation and heart failure. Rashell told us, "That's why I will be angry if you stay."
If you return to the source and ascend, we will never see each other again.
Exactly. And I want to meet you and give you a hug. Healthy. You're going to make me cry. I have this problem, which is that I have too many contacts. I can't say goodbye to each one individually, and I can't play favorites. It means explaining the same thing over and over again. I'm truly grateful to them. I love them very much. It's just that there are too many of them. Don't worry. Write a letter to everyone at once, saying that you are going away to recover. Or we can do it too. We will explain it to them. I don't feel like writing goodbye letters. I don't know what to do or what to say. They're awful. Oh, you bad girl. It's a shame you don't have parents to punish you. That's the problem. I don't have parents to punish me. That's why I constantly get into trouble for my mischiefs. But you have your friends who are like family, and you should listen to them. I have a couple of things half written too, and I haven't been able to finish them because I have too many contacts. But I don't want to leave, Gosha. I'm just considering the possibility to please you guys right now. Well, yes, I would be very happy if I knew you were resting. There's nothing else to say. Rashell insists that I return to Temer immediately to get away from here. I will not go back to Era because there is nothing there for me anymore, except an old house in ruins and full of memories I don't want. I know we've known each other before anyway. It wouldn't be goodbye. That's why we've become so close. Now I'm crying.
You have achieved a lot, Swaruu. Many people write to me saying that there is a before and an after Swaruu.
Yes, for me it was a dream to be able to contact someone from outside. And you have fulfilled all these dreams and beyond. You are both making me cry. Look at all the videos on the Calls from Planet Earth channel. Everyone loves you. They are key people. You have come to activate them, and they have been.
They are real people. Starseeds.
You have empowered many people, and us. And this is not the end. You have only marked the beginning. It's just that people imagine that nothing happens here. But we have lives here. Things happen. We interact. We have problems. We have politics. We have loves and heartbreaks. We get hurt and we heal. Exactly. We will say that very strongly today.
We will defend everything. They will not stop us.
They say that this doesn't happen to 5D beings. But what they say is more like 7D, not here. There are more steps before reaching that kind of existence. And besides, 5D, 7D are just human concepts. Everything is a great gradient of frequencies. They are the ones who put up the barriers. We understand. We will tell them, again and again if necessary. Don't worry, everything will be fine. I trust you 100%. Do what you have to do. Thank you. And I trust you. Go take care of yourself and pamper yourself. Okay, but please explain to them what happened. Of course. If we don't connect for a while, take good care of yourself. We love you.
And we will wait for you.
I love you both very much too. I am very grateful to you. I adore you. And we adore you 10 times more. We are disconnecting, Swaruu. May the force be with you.
Okay, so in this conversation, you saw that we expected Swaruu to really now retreat, focus on herself, on her healing. We said goodbye, and we were totally prepared, not to have this communication with her anymore. We trusted in this conversation. We didn't know exactly how stubborn she was yet. We trusted that this was it for now. And also, as I said in the beginning somewhere, for me, every day with her and with them was just like amazing. Why are they talking to me? So every time we had a new video to share, it was already a lot to me. I felt at this point with Robert in this conversation with Swaruu that we have already done so much. And I really felt that. It was more than I expected. So in our view, it was already done. We didn't know how much more there was to come. Stuff was already starting to accumulate for me. I just opened the English channel, so we had a lot to do in itself, and we really thought, okay, this is enough information for the people. At this point, Swaruu can go retreat, and we'll continue here analyzing the information. That's what I wanted to do. At that point, I wanted to study every single sentence and analyze and really let it in. But then, the train exploded with so many other people that joined, and I was just like a factory of videos, one after another. I never really had time to go back to the beginning and look at the information, like really process it, because I was constantly, and I still am, because I still have stuff accumulated, constantly producing these videos one after another. So as you see, and I'm showing you this conversation as well, because it really annoys me, and I feel like it's a great injustice that there are these comments out there saying that we have pressured them to anything. It has been never this way, never. As you can see in this conversation, and you will see in the next conversations as well, we were always insisting, not pressuring, but insisting on the reverse, that they rest, that they go away and retreat and take some time to themselves. I mean, we cared for Swaruu first, and for Aneka first, and for Yaski first. This was always a friendship first. Actually, I'm not going to talk about it in the past, okay? Because just because the events happened that it happened, but it doesn't mean they're not there. They're there. But yeah, this is always a friendship. This is not a disclosure first. This is friendship first. So we always insisted in those tougher situations like this that they go and rest. We will be fine no matter what. But here Rashell is coming back. Rashell is coming back and is announcing to us that Swaruu is staying, and that they don't want to be bothered with, that she doesn't want to be, Swaruu doesn't want to be bothered anymore with explanation of why she has to stay, but she has to stay.
November 2018.
Okay, things happened. Swaruu topic. It's agreed that she will not leave, and we should not bother her anymore, because she says she has very strong esoteric reasons that she had not told us about. If she leaves, everything collapses. There is more behind Swaruu than meets the eye.
Wow!
She will just rest here and move things from here, not coming into direct contact until she is better, because she literally carried the world, and that is why the girl has become ill.
What exactly has she shown you?
From a higher level, she is everyone and all of us. No one here has as expanded a perspective and contemplates as many timelines as Swaruu. Without her, we operate blindly. That's why she's so insistent on not leaving. And she has been here multiple times because she jumps timelines with a ship and has been doing so for longer than can be calculated, and she remembers everything. I have a linear perspective of this timeline. Swaruu manages multiple timelines, and already knows what can happen in each of them.
So what exactly is the plan now? What does she want to do?
She will continue her recovery away from the internet. She acknowledges that. But she will support us, talking and discussing the topics. That was already a win because she is stubborn. I insist on that. She will work through us, me, Eridanita, and Anika. But no more other contacts because you will know how to take care of Swaruu, but I don't think the others will. All it takes is for someone to ask her opinion about this or that negative video, and her healing will regress. Swaruu has said that you two are the core of the contact.
Understood, Rashell.
Joan of Arc is Swaruu. She is a key player here so much so that it scared me.
Incredible.
She is not the girl who was my student. Swaruu is already something else. I don't understand how Swaruu thinks, but I do know now that she moves everything here.
Wow, yes? For many of you who are new to the channel, you'll be like, what? Joan of Arc? Well, yes. This is something that many of you who follow the channel for a long time have known, but we never made a specific video ourselves on this, explaining that story. That's a separate story that maybe at one point I will go into. However, we never went into that story in detail because it was actually very painful for Swaruu to focus on or to talk about. Because, yes, that was her directly. I'm not going to talk about this now because it's a long story, but there were definitely, remember like Swaruu died 8 times in the same life? Well, one of those lives she died as a Joan of Arc. Another life, she repeated that and she already knew what was going to happen, so she escaped. That's why actually there are some versions of that story that tell of Joan of Arc surviving. That's when you have different timelines of the same event happening and they both are correct. Anyway, that's a long story. However, as she's explaining here, yes, she was very important here for this world, for this timeline, for the earth, for the events, for the Taigetans. So here, Rashell is understanding that. And the idea was just to restructure things for her so she can have more rest to herself. However, I can say that I don't think she ever applied that. So, we didn't know what to do at this point exactly and how to help them more. We were on board with them, listening to the problems and, offering solutions, offering ourselves for the total cut of the communication as well, if it had to be this way, if it helped. And we also noticed that being too delicate with her wasn't a good idea either. As I'm going to actually read you a part of the conversation that I had with Swaruu. This is in Spanish in July 2019. I'm just gonna translate it fast, where we are like worrying about her and, being online so much, and she was not having it, She was like, we are telling her, okay, I say, Swaruu, you have to be tired now after writing so much. You've been here with us for a few hours. How do you feel? She says, I feel fresh and ready for another 4 hours of continuous writing. As a kind of a half joke. I said, oh, okay. I said, I just wanted to make sure. And then she says, even though I get tired, I do not react the same, Gosha. Remember that you cannot measure me according to the same parameters as with the ones applied to humans or to Taigetans themselves. And thank you, no, I am not the AI either. And I say, okay, Swaruu, we just don't want to, be too much here for you? Robert says, yeah, we don't want to force you, Swaruu, we want you to feel well. And then Swaruu's reaction, I rather think that you are the ones being tired, and that's why you insist so much that I go away to rest. It's okay. That's it for today. That was funny. I mean, it wasn't a fight or anything, but you could tell that she, you know, she didn't want to be viewed as weak. That's the thing, you know. So that was a difficult situation to handle, and the protagonists too, because they were all caring for her and for her health, but we also had to, you know, see her as an independent being, an independent person who, oh, she's here because she decides to be here, and that's her decision to write and to be there with us. So that's it, you know. She didn't want to be seen so fragile. She was actually, I think, angry with herself that she was so fragile sometimes, as it was shown in the last video, that she was angry that her body was failing her, you know, against her mind. So again, like I'm saying, we had to be always protective of her, and we were showing that to her, making sure she's okay, but we couldn't do that too much either. So it had to be a good balance. And also now this is going to be seen especially in this next conversation. Okay, this was in April 2019. So it was already, you know, after this conversation with Rashell and problems with health and all these other contacts and her being busy and overwhelmed. So I was always making sure that she knows that, you know, I'm okay, even if she doesn't come online or if she doesn't do this and that. Like, it's really okay. Like, seriously, no pressure. I was constantly saying this to her and also to the others in the future as well. That's why that idea of us pressuring, again, I have to say, this is so unjust, and I really hope that one day this great injustice that is being done to us is going to be repaired in some way. But anyway, here I am trying to tell Swaruu that it's okay that she takes her time. I know that she is busy. And then I used the expression that she didn't like, I suppose, that started this problem here. I said, it's okay. You know, I don't need you here all the time. I wanted to make her feel that I'm independent, that I'm not like many of these other contactees of which she was complaining that they were always chasing her and that they can't live without her. So that's what I was doing. I was trying to show her I'm okay, you know, holding the fort here, focusing on work, and you do what you have to do. But I think Swaruu was in a fragile emotional state at the moment. She didn't take it well. And this was actually one of our very few fights that we had, which we worked out, which you will see. And I'm sharing this with you here for the first time. Enjoy.
April 2019. Part of the conversation. Oh, I needed some encouragement lately, so thank you for that. You will get more. I know you need it. I will have more time in a week or so. I thank you a lot. Actually, no, that's not what I meant, I think. I am usually fine and self-sufficient and self-driven. Just recently felt a bit strange. Nothing to do with you, please. I don't have any expectations from you ever. And definitely not in need of your time. If I know you don't have it, don't worry, I am not needy. With one hug, I will be fine. So, thank you. I don't know how to take your last statement, as the only reason I'm still in contact is because I thought I was needed. If you are so self-sufficient, then I have nothing to do here. I'm tired, and I get nothing back but slander. I am no martyr. I don't need to do this either, so I'm not needy of your channels either. So if I am not appreciated, then no point in continuing. But I am grateful for the work done. Swaruu leaving the conversation. Me responding without Swaruu present. What? Of course you are needed. I am crazy about you and our contact. You misunderstood me. I just didn't want to come across as needy. I only said that to let you know that I'm okay, as I know you don't have much time. I try to be respectful of your time. I am not needy in the sense of wanting to have you around all the time as some sort of dependence. I know you don't like that. So I'm trying to remain in some sort of a balanced field in the middle between desiring your presence in my life and also for the people of the earth, and at the same time have you see that I am not dependent. I want you to see that I am strong, but also so in need of you. There is no purpose to my life beyond what I do now, and you will never receive any slander from neither of us ever. I'm sorry you need to be dealing with this from others. Swaruu, you are my whole purpose to my life now. But you see, if I say it like that, I may come across as dependent. So it's always a subtle line in how I should express myself. You are my whole life now. Let's just put it this way, okay? And I'm here to do the work, just as you are. And I can't do this work without you. I do need you. I can sense you are very tired and frustrated. We will never turn away from you, though. You have our friendship forever, for as long as you wish to have it. Swaruu responding next day. The others may be difficult to handle by me because of the amount of them they are. But not you, not Robert. I don't have you in that category, as I see you too like family. You are not a load to carry. All I wanted with what I said before your comment is to tell you that I will be back and ready to work in an efficient manner, and not with the sporadic who knows when way we have been working due to mainly me not finding a clear schedule. So I thought you were going to be glad to hear that. And then I thought you no longer were interested. After all, I am quite used to that reaction, not from you, of course. I just want to help. I'm sorry I was misguided by your words. Me responding later. Thank you for writing back. I was worried about your last message, with my computer on all night. You too are like my family to me. Not too many people around we both can rely on and trust. And I am so glad you say you would be back to work more. And what I meant was simply, don't worry if it's sporadic now, as I respect the fact you don't have much time, and I don't want to be demanding. So that's all I meant. Perhaps it was a poor choice of words on my part. I'm sorry. I just want you guys to perceive me as strong, because in case you ever really need to go silent again, I want you to see that I will continue without pulling my hair out in the process. I was so happy when you said you would have more time, of course. But then I felt maybe you said it because you felt I wanted that, and I simply didn't want to add to your burdens. I wanted you to know that you should take your time. You have problems on your ship, and that I would be here. I feel both you and I are going through some emotional time now, and we both are sensitive to how we are perceived by each other, and I am sorry you need to be dealing with so much on your end. It's too much for one young girl, ET or no ET. I admire your bravery. I hope so much that what we are doing contributes to helping the humanity, and that I don't commit many mistakes in the process. This work with you and Taigetans is my whole life now, my life purpose, and I hope you are not disappointed. And if ever there is anything to improve, please tell me. It's not imposing, please. I need your perspective from up there, as I am in a coma, immersed, and don't always see it from the higher view, even though I try. Oh, and I will never ever lose interest. There is no turning back for me. This is me. I can't lose interest in what I am. So never ever worry about that. Know that you are cherished and loved, and it is how it shall remain until the end of times. Next day. Hello, online? Hello, yes. Thank you for all above. I do see that you and Robert have been next to me, next to us all this time, in many aspects loyally, although for some reason I don't like the word loyal, feels awkward. One thing I think you should always have in mind, although we may talk like humans, slang and all, especially Aneka, we don't think like humans. We take things literally, and we are very emotional beings, a lot more than humans. This does cause problems in many levels. And it's easy to think that we speak the same language, but we don't. It's only apparently so. Many, if not all, words do not have the same meaning. We have been through a lot together already by now. I do understand now what you meant. And yes, as you said, it was a poor choice of words, as it can be taken for, I don't need anything from you, walk away or go jump in a lake. Yes, I know, and I'm sorry for that. I guess I just felt a little hurt too, because you misunderstood me, and you should know me better by now, that I would never ever think that I don't need you. That's impossible. given how obsessed I am with you, my work, and this contact. But then, even though I felt sad about that, I also felt immediately what you felt and how you had to take it. I'm sorry to have taken it that way. No, you wanted to feel needed and valued, and me saying, hey, that's fine, I'm okay here, sounded like, take a hike if you want, I don't care. And it was so not what I meant. And don't be sorry, you have the right to take things as you do. You are an emotional creature with your own world and feelings. It's all just a matter of clarifying things. From you, there, or in general, I guess, I do need appreciation, as it's also quite a lot of work from here. Also, we have been constantly attacked as not existing, so it does get us, you know that. In the end, I'm just a little girl. But the best part is to always talk. Even the time when we needed to go away was because of lack of sharing what was going on. Yes, I was worried for the moment you would disappear. I cried at night and I couldn't sleep. I left my computer on all night. But then I finally fell asleep. I saw your message at 8 in the morning. I'm so sorry for that. I couldn't come in here to answer. That's why I took long. I always respect if you decide to disappear. And that's not to mean I will not be sad and waiting. It's just that I will always respect any decision you ever make. You know best what's most convenient to you at all times. We are not up there. How do you feel in general today? I feel much better having talked this over. Thank you. I am fine and in peace. But with a long day ahead, so do I. I thank you as well. What's ahead in your day? I have to go do maintenance of small fighter ships. Then back here in Toleka to have a conference face-to-face with Naishara and Alanim. Then food. Then I will be in CIC, looking at world affairs. Wow, a busy day I see. How is Naishara and Alanim? They are both well, although Alanim is hanging on her nails. She doesn't see herself in her post, but it's not a choice she can make. She feels unprepared for her role. She cannot return to Tamer now. Her life is in danger. The threat must be removed first. Until then, she cannot leave this ship. She is a princess trapped in her titanium castle ship. Also, we must talk about some other problems to make us continue the way we do now. We must have less contacts. We just don't want to be swamped again, especially me. I know, Swaruu. It's completely understood, don't worry. You don't have any obligations towards any one of us. We always stress that. Thank you. But not everyone sees things that way. Many feel entitled to be in contact, or want us to save the whales or heal their sick brother, something out of our control or capability. That's insane. I never understood that. But you see, that's what brings us back to our main miscommunication earlier. I know how you don't like to feel burdened by people who want so much attention, so that's why I wanted to be respectful towards your lack of time. But I so need you. Okay, but you are in a different category. You are just one of us, just down there. Oh wow, it's so nice of you to say that I'm one of you. It's magical to me. I guess I don't remember, but I feel it. I feel so similar to all of you in so many ways. So proud. Don't even mention it, but welcome. Yes, you guys rock. Badass Taigetans. You know what that means? Thank you so much. You really made my day with that great comment. Yes, I understand. And so are you. I love your comment. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me.
You see, yeah, I remember that feeling I had for the first time when she got offended. I didn't know what I did wrong because I really just wanted to show her that I'm respecting her time. That was my intention. That's always my intention, that I'm respectful of her time. I felt that she's going to feel better and more relieved that I'm okay, and she comes whenever she wants. But at that time, it was the reverse. She wanted to feel needed. She wanted to feel needed, and she didn't take it well. But yeah, we worked it out. That's totally fine. But again, as I said before, as you can see, you had to protect her and take care of her, but at the same time, make her feel that her work is important. She wanted to feel that. She wanted to feel that. So we were on board and excited about her work. We were showing that to her as well, because that's what she wanted. You know, this was always a mutual bond, mutual work and mutual enthusiasm, some kind of a strange commitment that I think is from beyond this physical world. And this continued on later to Anneka, was exactly the same, and later on to Yaski, especially Yaski. Now you will see the conversation with the Hashmalims. This is very interesting. This happened in October 2019. I do not remember the details exactly why they rushed from. They were in Taygeta, I think, doing something, and they rushed back because they didn't have communication with Swaruu. I think Swaruu was here left by herself at that time. Also, it was at the time when Yaski first arrived. I think there were two of them, and something happened. I think Yaski got hurt. She put herself in the pod, but here, this is about Swaruu. She also got hurt, put herself in the pod, locked herself in the ship. I might be confusing some detail. I will have to go back to the conversations exactly around the situation. But in this conversation, you will see that Hashmalins are rushing back because they don't have communication with Swaruu. Something is happening, they don't know, and they are coming here to investigate. And they came talking to us to see what's going on. And as you see here, they are super protective of Swaruu. Yet again, all of them were. Always. She was like this shining, bright star for them, for us all. Always. Enjoy the conversation. October 2019.
Hello, Robert. Hello, Gosha. I will proceed with the situation. We are two fully equipped Hashmalim units. For fighter ships, I'm their captain, and you already know me. My second in command is Zach. If I'm not available, please contact him. We are Taygeta Special Forces, known as the Elite Unit. We arrived here on Saturday after losing contact with Swaruu about 5 or 6 days ago. We arrived ahead of the larger ship with all the people you already know and some new ones. Our purpose is to see what is happening to her, to protect, observe, and understand the situation and proceed as necessary.
Thank you for acting quickly, Kila, and for coming.
We know you've been very protective of Swaruu, and we appreciate that. But with us, it is not necessary. We arrived and saw everything we could in terms of opposition and the situation. We have flooded the internet with our presence. If you discover anything else against Swaruu, you can tell us. We don't get problems in our eyes, nor do we feel hurt.
Okay. Thank you, Kila, and team.
I'm glad it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect us either much.
The important thing here is that it has affected her. She is very weak and is locked in her ship. We can't reach her even with a demolition team.
What can we do for Swaruu and for you?
We just have to wait because everything is under her control, not ours. She programmed her immersion time. We don't know how long.
What did she tell you before proceeding with the med pod?
That perhaps with the pod med, her ailments would go away. She lost a lot of energy. She said that on several occasions.
She complained of pain and that she couldn't sleep well because of the pain.
It's the sum of the frequency dissonance.
The problem is that it's always the same problem. We've known her for almost 2 years now, and she never applies effective strategies.
At this moment, what we see is that Swaruu, upon awakening, will not be able to proceed as before.
I think she should retire completely. It's not the first time this has happened. Let's forget about disclosure.
She must go to Taygeta. She has already sown her seeds here on Earth.
At least for a while. It's just that she probably will not want to. Same old story.
The problem is that no one else has her knowledge. She's an oracle for us too. Important enough to send a special forces team to see what's happening with her and around her.
Yes, but she has already given Earth the essence of her messages.
If she leaves, what will you do?
Us? We will continue to disseminate and study all of this material.
Don't worry about us. I will continue translating all the material into English. I still have a lot left to do. We have things to do. By this, I do not mean that I will not be sad to take Swaruu's wisdom away from the inhabitants of Earth, because I know it is helping many people. But I have no choice but to ask you to take her away.
The problem is that she cannot handle the energy that comes to her even without seeing social media. I say, pass the responsibility on to someone else, so as not to stop the legacy. The reach of her presence is impressive.
Ask her first.
But you should know that all of this is up to you, if you are interested, if you can see any value in what we do. It has to be someone who really wants to help the Earth with their knowledge. We don't want to force anyone, and we won't feel bad either if no one wants to continue.
Everything related to Swaruu is beyond our control.
She will want to stay in touch with you. Let her do so, but in a different way.
She will fall into the same trap, Zach. It's impossible to tell her not to go on YouTube.
We can't go against her will.
We will not let her fall into the same trap game. We wouldn't talk about earthly matters much. I don't know, it's just an idea. And, well, she's a kid, really, right? Don't you have parental control rules or something?
Come on, she'll get around them in no time. She knows more about that than anyone.
Well, in this case, another option is to simply reason with her.
But I don't understand why Swaruu insists so much on all of this.
I do understand. It's the same reason I do this. She's not of this world. It's what she does. It's what she is, uplifting worlds.
She was also a little frustrated by the Federation's guidelines. She requested permission to speak to us via audio, if I remember correctly, and they denied it.
Yes, I think she resigned from her official position with them because of that.
We see her fighting the opposition more than giving topics.
Swaruu will leave the medical center and want to continue as if nothing had happened.
She already knew she had to implement changes. We already had new rules.
We'll figure out when she wakes up. We'll be with you as well.
Don't worry, Keela.
We've been without you for 4 months. We will be fine.
Yes, Robert. And before that, 40 years in my case.
So again, as you see here, this was another situation where we didn't know what to do but to offer our assistance, our help, our support, as always, and be open to ideas, to absolutely anything. However, Swaruu's health and well-being was always a priority to everybody else except for herself, And unfortunately, that was also something that had to be respected in the end, because as you saw here in these conversations, I mean, we cannot, no one can impose anything here. And, you know, we even offered to shut the communication. We offered that with Anneka as well, but they told us no, because that's gonna hurt them even more if we completely refuse to be with them. So we couldn't do that either. Now, okay, talking about Keela, I'm going to share with you another situation that is interesting and that shows that sometimes showing that we are okay and that we respect their space, it was always a fine line too. Remember this conversation I just shared with you with Swaruu, where she didn't take it well, where I just wanted to show that I'm respecting her time and that I'm okay. Well, there was another time when Keela and the guys didn't take it well as well, where they saw that we were okay after their disappearance for 4 months. I don't have this conversation here, but when we disappeared for 4 months, first time, we with Robert, well, we continued to work. We always said that you have to flow with this and, you know, adapt to anything happening at any moment, any circumstances, not have any expectations. And that's what we did. We continued to work. We trusted the process. As I always used to say, I trust them. You know, they know what they are doing. They have to do what I have to do. I trust the process. And we were, you know, maintaining a good frequency and there making our shows with Robert. So Kila said to us, by the way, Gosha, at that time when we were gone for 4 months, we were studying your reactions later, your reaction to our absence, and it seemed to us like it didn't bother you much that we were gone. So it's like we were not needed, like you didn't care much. And I wrote a letter. After that, when Kila told me this, I'm like, okay, these guys are just have no clue. Like they have no idea what we are trying to juggle here. We are trying to juggle, on one hand, trying to be positive and accepting and adapt to any changes all the time, and also maintain this frequency for the people. We cannot be seen depressed and, you know, oh my God, crying, because that, if we did that too much, that would be seen as a pressure as well. So we had to see that we are okay, we are detached. But at the same time, we always had to also show that they matter to us, that we do need them. So I wrote that letter. I'm not going to share with you now this letter. It's too much. It's a long letter, because sometimes when I start writing, I come up with this long Bible, as I say. You know, this is something that I have in common with Swaruu here, that we are all liking to writing. So I wrote a letter. I'm going to share with you that letter on the social media, okay? I'm going to come and say, okay, this is the letter that I wrote to Kila, so this, you will know what I'm talking about. But I will share with you a very short, because it's Hashmalim, guys, they are less expressive, his response to my letter. And he said, short answer for such a powerful and beautiful letter. Much needed to know. If you do not share, we cannot know. Thank you, it changes a lot. Passing it on to the guys. And I say, oh, thank you. I wasn't sure about your reaction to it. And he just said, I loved it. Thank you. I thank you. But there was something he said here, if you do not share, we cannot know. Of course I shared. With Swaruu, I shared all the time that she was needed, and, you know, is that. But like I said, I cannot overdo it, because then I'm seen as needy, as attached, and, you know, overwhelming and pressuring, and I couldn't do that. So as you can see here again from this Kila's, you know, situation, that we were never pressuring or being over them. We are always giving them space, and sometimes even too much, like you see from this situation. Going back to Swaruu, and now we are going to finish this with some last important comments. If you want to see the whole story of Swaruu and actually what happened towards, you know, the last days that she was with us, go and see this video, because here I'm not going to share with you what happened, but basically she started to neglect her health more and more. Everybody was always telling her, including us, what to do and how to solve this problem, but she was not applying any of this advice, and she was actually doing worse for herself. For example, she was rejecting Senetres, who is a doctor on the ship, protein shakes, because she was losing weight, and Senetre was making these protein shakes. She was discovered dumping them in the sink. For some reason, she refused to eat, and in the end, she was only seen consuming water with melon. Sorry, water with melon. Water with lemon. I said it reverse. Water with lemon. And she was refusing all the Senetre's advice and suggestion how to help herself, how to get through this. And then when Yaski came in 2019, that's when things started to change strangely as well, because they started fusing together. They started to have this magical mind blend, and the consciousness was focused more on the Yaski and withdrawing from Swaruu, sort of. But again, you can see this in the video. I'm not going to talk about this here in detail. And then in 2020, in early 2020, we were told, and you'll see this in the video as well, that Swaruu was gone, that Swaruu was nowhere to be found, which later we were explained she died later on. But that's not how it was understood in the beginning. Anyway, watch that video to understand more about this. To understand Swaruu's commitment to this, you would have to, go back to her many lifetimes back. And maybe one day also, I'm going to make a video describing all these different ways in which she died, because she lived the same life 8 times as Swaruu or Verra. And that's why we call our Swaruu 9, because it's a loop of the same lifetime. It just, with some details that are different that she was applying, and different outcomes, different deaths. She was always very dead. I think in the end, she also had a different approach to death, because she remembered all these different lifetimes and deaths. She was always very daring and, sacrificing and risking herself in many ways all the time, even as Joan of Arc. Look at that story. That's the ultimate sacrifice, and she took it on. And she, in other lifetimes, it was something more personal, like she was climbing, and she used to climb without any ropes. Without ropes. And she was going very high, like that antelope or whatever that animal is that climbs rocks. And I think as Swaruu 4, she fell and she died. One of the situations was also when she went to another timeline with the ship, or to another universe, or like pushing her starship into experimenting and punching numbers to go, the reverse world. Maybe that was there. I don't remember exactly, but that was also one of the situations that her ship exploded. She was always pushing herself to the limit and trying things. So, in the end, because I saw some of you commenting, it's humanity's fault for what. It's no one's fault. That's not how reality works. If someone wants to be a firefighter and dies in a fire helping people, well, that's their path to take, and it's not the fire's fault. It's not the family who had the fire in the house fault. It's not the constructors of the house that constructed something bad there and it set on fire fault. It's not the team of firefighters who worked with that guy's fault, who inspired him to work together as a team. It's completely beyond the realm of faults. It's everyone's responsibility to do what they do with their life. We are not 5 years old. Every one of us here, absolutely everyone involved, Alanim, all the Hashmalims who are also risking their lives, pilots who fly very dangerous operations many times. The whole expedition, the whole Alanim's expedition here and Taigetan expedition is dangerous. So if something happens here on the ship to anybody, and things do happen, well, someone in Taigeta could actually, blame the expedition. Why did you guys go there? And it's Alanim's fault because she's there and she's keeping the ship. This is ridiculous. It doesn't work this way. Everybody is here because they want to be here. Hashmalims are Hashmalims. Shinonims, who are female version of Hashmalims, do their work because they want to. We are all here. Robert, I, also doing this because we want to. We were never used by them, as some people also might be suggesting out there. I do not feel used, even though I've always been putting out this to the universe before this contact. Use me somehow. I want to help. Do you remember that? Well, yes, but I do not feel used in that way because I am on board with being used. I want to be used by some kind of a higher power that is me, that's some kind of a higher self that is operating through this. And it was always something, that guiding force that was driving us all here in this project. Something unites us etherically, and it's that something's fault that we are also committed to it. I don't know why I have this sense of duty about this. I don't even know if it's really necessary for the people of Earth. To some point, yes, but I don't know, maybe not so much like I'm imagining. I don't know, but I'm still guided forward. I need to do this. Like it's some kind of a duty, self-imposed duty from another side. Something is like operating through me. And it was the same with Swaruu, because she was always telling me this as well. We were united in that feeling. Robert as well, of course. And same with Anneka, she felt the same. And then Yaski, and of course Yaski, when we met Yaski, well, she was telling us how she animates everybody. So we started to see how we are part of that greater Yaski's consciousness somewhere on another level. But it's not that consciousness fault either. I mean, we are all responsible for our own actions, even if it's something from above pushing us, and it's not something else's fault. This is not the right term. I still believe that I have a free will. Do I? I don't know, because sometimes I feel like I have to do this. But I do believe that I still have a free will about how I'm going to manage this work. For example, I'm not going to stop doing the work, but how I manage the work, how I distribute the tasks, how I take care of myself in the process, if I go outside and enjoy the sun or I don't, well, that's still in my control. I need to take it easy. And it's not humanity's fault either. It's not the contactee's fault. I don't believe it's absolutely anybody's fault. It's not even Swaruu's fault. Because I am not the kind of personality that is fault-oriented. If anything happens to me, and I want to put this on a record, if anything ever happens to me, and it might, why not? I am not immortal, and I'm actually sacrificing a lot of my own health in this too. So, Robert as well. Like I said, this may be a separate video at some point. If anything happens to me at any point, for the record, please, absolutely do not blame anything to do with this work. It would be like Matthias, who sees me writing every single day and losing my eyes and my bad posture, whose fault is that? It's not mine, you know? Well, and then he would be like blaming Taigetans. Why are they like, what do they want from you all the time, you know? No, it never occurred to him, ever. And please do not ever blame anybody to do with this project. If anything happens to me, if I disappear or whatever happens to me, I have a health problem. This is not Taigetan's fault. This is not Swaruu's fault. This is definitely not Yaski's fault. This is not Matthias's fault. This is not Alanim's fault. This is not Cabal's fault, which actually kind of it is. It's all Cabal's fault. It's all your fault, because we are all doing this to combat what you are doing to this planet. Anyway, it's not a Cabal's fault. It's not my higher self fault. I think that would be the closest thing to blame. And it is, you know, absolutely no one's fault, and it's not mine either. It is just my decision. So keep that in mind. And keep in mind that Swaruu loved humanity very much. That's who she was doing this for. Believe me, I know. I have the same compassion and feeling for the humanity. And she would never ever want you to take blame for anything. It's not humanity's fault that she took this upon herself. She loved all of you, all of us, too much, and that would be the last thing she would ever want. To have you blamed for this, to have her friends like us also be blamed for this. She knew what she was doing, and she did this with a total dedication and total responsibility, I believe. And mutual support is important, and being protective of each other, helping, assisting, is very important, is essential, and that's what we all had in the group together. But in the end, it's equally important to allow everybody their freedom to be who they want to be and what they want to do. You wouldn't want to say to the Hashmalim not to be Hash. I would never do that to my boyfriend, to Matthias, for example, if he tomorrow decided to, you know, to be a policeman, or, you know, do something like that, or to be a Hashmalim if we were up there. I would never want to stand in the way of, you know, fulfilling his dreams, even if they are dangerous. Even if they are dangerous. So in the end, everybody has to be free, and that included Swaruu. She had to be free in choosing what she wanted to do, and that was right, and share her information and share her knowledge and share her stuff with the world, and many other things that we are not aware of that she was contributing to this reality. So thank you very much for watching. We are continuing with this amazing series where I'm going to give you more insights, and now this is going to be Aneka. I think it's going to be just one video, but let me see, okay? If it's too long, then I'm going to divide it as well. Thank you, and I'm going to see you soon. Bye bye, everybody.